where I'm watching now, there is a real literal change going on, which is why I became even more encouraged because something else even greater than the emotional aspects of ourselves and when we decide we're going to do something one day and then do something different tomorrow, that there is something that's already been put into play that's superior, which is what I'm saying, this cryptocurrency to get the yoke of the Khazars and the Templars, who are the bankers who sold basically everyone's soul on a two-dimensional piece of paper called debt, and let them put their signature, which is a two-dimensional imprint of themselves on it, and sign themselves away to the Baphomet god that they worship. You see what I mean? That's deeper principalities when you're dealing with dollars, but there has been no other thing. Meaning that there hasn't been little to any replacements beside getting off the grid and going sovereign. And as a slave, being basically classified as a slave wherever you are, or a minority, that's a long step. So there was nothing. This is what I'm trying to explain to people. Like the gate just opened. There was no solution. So that means on a certain level where things are holding the most, the money, there was no solutions until up appears this 10-page white paper document on a site about how the banking system could be changed to have zero fraud and how all the power would be in the hands of the people. And it's now implemented. You got a Bitcoin that used to be $1, now worth, $1 for one Bitcoin is worth $4,800 per Bitcoin right now. So technically, anybody who understands finance just a little bit, if the yen was somehow worth 4,000 something dollars over the dollar, it would make the Chinese empire, or excuse me, the Chinese empire,
Japanese.
Or Japanese, excuse me, thank you. They would destroy my comment section for that. That's how petty they be. The Japanese would be considered an elite society of overlords, basically, with that kind of gap, right? Because whoever has the most powerful currency is the most dominant nation. So you actually have a currency in the world that is the most dominant, and who owns the most of it? Well, and I'm just going to say this and I'm done. This is the real back to the floor knowledge. What's happening in your dimension, in your realm? Who owns the most of it actually happen to be all of these people who, many of them were nefarious because they were operating on websites like 4chan and Silk Road, selling drugs, guns, women, you name it. This is called the dark web. So Bitcoin was the currency for the dark web because it's anonymous. So you have people that have literally have a lot of Bitcoin or had a lot of Bitcoin. And then when that Bitcoin, which was just $1 then, started growing more, it made those people billionaires almost. So then the FBI said, uh-oh, we got something that we need to get a hold of right now. So they started seizing all of these people. This is why, because the thing about a cryptocurrency is it's right there on you. It's either on a piece of paper, it's a particular code, or you have this cold wallet, which is looks like a thumb drive, or you have a software on your computer, but that's where your money is. It's nowhere else. It's right there. So if somebody even gets that piece of paper, they now have your money. So the FBI went in and seized all of these people's Bitcoin. So FBI became the largest Bitcoin holder in the CIA, controlling the World Bank. So then this is what happened. So Russia, who's always been in their own lane, developed Ethereum. That's the other most powerful cryptocurrency right now. And it has way more abilities. I'm not going to get into it right now. So you have the US, who's Bitcoin through CIA and FBI, that's them. China, who you know is a big player in the game, this is where the big thing happened where you could have bought some Bitcoin just a minute ago for a low price, but now it's back up high again. Was China, what was happening was when cryptocurrency moved into China, China was like, well, wait a minute. You guys, the US, are trying to pay us back this huge ass debt we've accumulated with China with future money called cryptocurrency. Oh no, we don't want anything to do with this. And this is 3 weeks ago, they stopped all ICOs in their country. And in the back end, they took half of Bitcoin, now called Bitcash, and now that's China. So you have China, Russia, and the United States already with new crypto banks. Now, these banks, like I said, they can't be frauded. So all of the crazy stuff that you used to see going on with the banking system and the stock market is over. But the other thing that's going to hit the streets in the face is that all the trading the EBT card for cash, food stamps, all of that is going to be eliminated because you can't really fraud the system. There can't be more than one person. Every single transaction. This is why the technology is so superior. That's why it's the new internet, because this code, it can't be frauded because everybody's sharing it. So I just gave a crash course in it. Hopefully it didn't fly too far over your head. What I'm saying is it already is happening. This is not something that's just to come. 4 years ago, if you were listening then, it would have already made you a ton of money. Right now, if you're listening right now, it's not just about money. It's about your sovereignty. So you can already begin on the process because now it is an investment opportunity. But at minimum, it's just another place to put your money where now you really have it and it's not a dollar anymore. So you can go anywhere in the world. Listen to what I'm saying. When I got into the layer cake, I realized that everybody didn't want to be paid with money under the mattress. This is what a lot of these so-called entrepreneur and aspiring folks are not realizing, that cash, nobody wants to take that because they need to know where you got it from. Just educate the youth here for a minute. They want to know, where does this come? We ain't finna put this in here and we got to tell taxes where we got, bring us a check, transfer it from your bank. So this means you need to be in a banking system if you ever made over $200,000, $300,000. So then you start getting into try to figure out banking and you realize right away you're limited because you got a bank in your own country. So when you start talking about trying to have an international business or anything, you need to go to China, you need to develop connections. Basically, you can't even seem to get it done. And here comes cryptocurrency. Now you can bank faster than the actual bank. This is why they're scrambling. It still takes them 20-something days to process an international transaction. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it happens in 5 seconds, and it's done anonymously, meaning nobody even know who sold it and who bought it. Even for big timers, the biggest problem is when you sell or buy something is just the record of who bought it. A lot of people have a lot of money. They don't want to know nobody to know they just bought an island, that kind of thing. So this is why all the rich people are already moving into it. So just peep what I'm saying. If at the beginning of the conversation was just to authenticate for you that I'm not a dummy, listen to this knowledge and truth. If you want to get yourself off the ground of this thing, spend your time investing in the knowledge of understanding what cryptocurrency is. It's already something for the people, so it's not the people who are the most smart and most accolades that are winning in that field. It's the people who are doing the most research and realizing that it's valuable as far as their time right now. You can remove yourself from your job. You can already start taking your money and moving it over. You can have a debit card so you can transact your cryptocurrencies back into any currency right away. So don't feel like you're sticking your money somewhere and you can't get a hold to it. It's not like that. It's a bank. It's not an investment. So that was the pep talk for today, just in relation to getting oneself together on the physical plane. You can always check us out at secretenergy.com. If you're deep into the spiritual knowledge, you want to understand more about yourself, you can definitely check out the Innerversity. And if you want to get on the fast track to developing whatever you're doing, your company, your idea, or you need a little assistant, check out Ambassador Training, because that's what we're doing and we're real. Because at the end of the day, I don't have time to be wasting nobody's time. If we're in time, we're already too late. I'm trying to get out of time all the time.